Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is May 10th. Right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop, pulling up the mid-level water vapor loop. So I want to show you that rotation in the atmosphere right here that could be kicking off some strong thunderstorms here across portions of the Sierra Nevada and portions of Nevada today. Then this will creep east tomorrow and bring another round of thunderstorms across portions of Utah and Arizona into the Four Corners region. Could be some gusty winds associated with that as well. And we'll take a look at the extended forecast a little bit here as we go through the video today. As always, we'll check out some of the temperatures rolling up in here as well. And if we take a look at the GOES 18, the visible satellite, you can see the marine layer kind of all the way into the San Diego, Los Angeles metro. And yeah, so it's burning off as we speak here. And you can see the Bay Area actually relatively clear today as well. Some of the low clouds may move up against the central coast, as you can see. And you can also see the nice snow-capped mountains here in the GOES 18 satellite imagery. And you can see the cumulus and some of the mid-level clouds already going. I think that lightning strike showed up there is not actually something that's occurring right now. But I do expect some thunderstorm activity here as we go through the afternoon today. And I showed this yesterday. We're looking at the northern hemisphere. There's Washington, California. There's Hawaii. You can see Japan all the way over here. You can see Africa and Europe right there. You can see Alaska here. So as we go on in towards the later spring and summer months, you know, the sun rises above the equator here. We warm the northern hemisphere, so there's less cold air to work with here. So the mid-latitude cyclones tend to move north at this time of year. You know, the boundary between that cooler polar air and the subtropical and tropical air across the equator, you know, that moves north when we warm the northern hemisphere. So that's why the storm track tends to move north with it. And if I put this in motion, you can kind of see the nice movement of these air masses here. And you can kind of see how yesterday afternoon's European model here kind of drops a trough down across the Pacific Northwest and tries to take a little bit of a aim at California right there. So this is one way we like to look at things. This is at 18,000 feet here, but kind of interesting watching the atmosphere that acts as a fluid in motion. So if we take a look at today, though, you can see Sequoia National Park. There's Bishop, Mammoth Lakes, Lake Isabella, Ridgecrest. You are all under the gun for some thunderstorm activity. You can also see Tonopah, Nevada, and portions of Nevada are under the gun for a thunderstorm here as well. And this goes through about 8 p.m. today. And of course, if you want to be absolutely safe when thunder roars, go indoors. If you see those dark clouds building, you can get in there before the lightning even strikes. But here is the National Weather Service Las Vegas chance of thunderstorms today. And you can see not great chances, but there is that potential. And it doesn't take that much rain here to cause some flooding concerns, actually. It shouldn't be too much precipitation here, but I remember just getting a quarter of an inch sometimes in places across some of the desert areas that don't get that much rain. It produce some nice gully washers and some water over the road, for example. But you can see better amounts as you go across some of the Sierra Nevada here as well, and portions of Utah this afternoon. And don't let those rivers fool you. Again, here, this is National Weather Service Eureka talking about, you know, the weather may be warm for some areas here, but, you know, these constantly changing rivers can produce new hazards like submerged trees. The water is moving fast and it's very cold. It can be very deceptive, so heads up for that. Take a look at the high temperatures today. Look at Sacramento, Marysville, Chico, Red Bluff, Redding, all into the 90s. Vacaville, San Francisco, another nice day out there as well. Fort Bragg, 70, Eureka, 74. And the weekend outlook, this is Reno National Weather Service. Take a look here. You can see they do mention that 10 to 15% chance of a thunderstorm there over the eastern Sierra, and that goes all the way in through Monday and Tuesday here coming up. Now take a look a little bit further south. There we go. Bakersfield, Delano, Porterville, Lemoore, Fresno, Madera, Merced, all well into the mid-90s or so. Look at Death Valley pushing 107. Of course, cooler across the higher terrain, and the coastal regions offer some nice relief as well. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, click on that link down below to save 10% off. Lightning detection system, all solar powered, stores the data for you in the cloud for the price. You cannot beat this weather station. It's really nice. It sends you alerts. It's really nice. I use this even more than my more expensive weather stations because it's so darn handy. Now taking a look at the GFS. So you can see that upper level low here right across some of the southwest here, and that's what's going to kick off some of the thunderstorm activity today, and then you can see it creep east as we go through tomorrow afternoon. And then this ridge flattens out across the Pacific Northwest, but the GFS wants to build another big ridge here as we go on in towards next week across much of the west coast here. So we're going to be watching that as we go through the next few days and trying to break that down. The European shows more troughing here trying to move down along the west coast. So we got some big model discrepancy as we go off into the extended. I also like to show this is sometimes if you guys are playing around with the models yourself, you'll see the GFS likes to produce these tropical systems probably a bit more than it should. And you can see it tries to develop some kind of tropical storm down here south of Baja. I wouldn't worry about that too much. That's kind of an artifact that was going on with the GFS last year as well. It was kind of overdoing some of that tropical system development here. So if you do see that, take that with a grain of salt for sure. Plenty of time to worry about something like that. You'd only worry about it if it got closer in the forecast or if the European and other models started to show it as well. Now, looking at the composite reflectivity, North American model, high resolution, you can see there shows that there was a few showers this morning. I don't know that that's actually occurring, but you can see the development today. This should be the case. And some of these are going to have some gusty outflow winds as well, and some dangerous lightning possible. Could trigger a thunderstorm down towards the transverse ranges, maybe up towards the central Sierra Nevada as well, across Nevada, Utah, northern Arizona. So eyes on the sky today. And as we go through tonight into tomorrow morning on in through Saturday afternoon, you can see those redevelop mainly northern Arizona. You cannot rule out one more again across the Sierra Nevada here. It does show a few showers bubbling up there, but that main low should be across Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico here. As we go on in through Sunday morning here, you can see that continue to push off to the east. Now, taking a look at the 80-meter wind speed, we've got the North American high resolution versus the high resolution rapid refresh is on the left. Now, if we on the right, sorry, but if we go through this afternoon, you can see that these both models do produce these gusty outflow winds. These could even kick off some winds down across some of the valley areas. Tehachapi out there, maybe even Bakersfield getting some gusty winds out of the north with some of those thunderstorm outflow winds. So you don't have to be underneath the thunderstorm to get those gusty winds. And you can see we're going to have some gusty north winds across some of the Mojave Desert, some of the desert areas, and some east winds gusty here as we go through tonight across a lot of the Sierra Nevada as well. If we scroll on into the future and see if there's anything interesting, we do start to kick things on a bit more westerly, it looks like, as we go through Sunday morning here across some of the transverse ranges and some of the desert areas. Nothing too crazy. Composite reflectivity on the high resolution rapid refresh as well. Let's look at this afternoon. You can see it does kick off those thunderstorms. And again, some of those are probably going to be prolific lightning producers. Could trigger one down towards the transverse range, maybe even off towards the desert areas, if this lines up right. And you can see, again, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah getting some thunderstorm activity today. And then by tomorrow, you can see it pushing off to the east there across northern Arizona and Utah, and maybe clipping portions of Nevada. So if we look at the national blended models, you'll notice here as we scroll through the next few days, our temperatures remain quite elevated as we go. So right now it's looking like the models agree we're still going to be dealing with some ridging and some above average temperatures as we go all the way on in through the following weekend towards May 20th. And if we look at the GFS, this is 2-meter temperature anomaly. So if I scroll through the next few days, we're now going on into next week, later next week, you can kind of see how we are going to be above average for many areas, it looks like. But again, take that with a grain of salt. We'll continue to watch it day by day to see just how warm we're going to be, or if the European is right and it brings a trough down a little bit more here. But anyway, yeah, again, across the backcountry, watch out for those thunderstorms today. Get out there and enjoy that nice weather if you can. Yeah, we'll do this all again tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys then.